Right now, Vice President Kamala Harris visiting Wisconsin for a rally. This as she focuses on the so-called blue wall. Plus, as we get closer to the election, we take a deep dive into the candidate's stance on crime and a look at the data here in Wisconsin. And later, researchers at UW-Madison launch a groundbreaking study on Alzheimer's and why it targets certain groups of people more than others. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. Just 15 days to go before the election. The top two presidential candidates in the race are focusing their attention on key battleground states. Today, Vice President Kamala Harris once again in 3 of those states, including right here in Wisconsin tonight. For more on the Vice President's visit, we go to political reporter Will Keneally. He is live in Waukesha waiting for the Vice President to arrive. Will?
Yeah, Eric, as you can see behind me, the stage is set for kind of a town hall style event. Now we're expecting a moderated discussion with Harris and former Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney. Now here in Waukesha, it's a hotbed of conservative politics in Wisconsin, so we're expecting perhaps with Cheney, both of them to make a pitch to some of those wary conservative voters who might be a little bit concerned or, unsure about Trump on the ballot this fall. Now they held similar rallies across the country, including one in Michigan. Here's Liz Cheney.
I think all of us, it doesn't matter what party you're in, we all know this is a good and an honorable and a great nation. And we have to have leaders. You might say, I'm not going to agree on every issue, but we have to have leaders who take that seriously.
Now, we know Wisconsin is certainly an important state in the election, and so is Waukesha County for conservatives, especially that hotbed of conservative politics. They're looking to drive out that conservative turnout, including J.D. Vance making a stop here just yesterday. Now, we'll continue to have more coverage tonight from this Harris event. But for now, reporting in Waukesha County, Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
All right, Will, thank you. And former President Barack Obama and Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Minnesota Governor Tim Walz will be campaigning in Madison tomorrow. That is the same day that early voting opens in Wisconsin. Obama and Governor Walz are expected to hold a rally to encourage voters to vote early for Democrats. They're expected to speak at around 1:30 in the afternoon. A location for the rally has not been publicly released. We're also learning second gentleman Doug Emhoff will be in Kenosha for a get out the vote, early vote block party. Exact time and location also not known on that event. Meanwhile, former President Trump in North Carolina, where early voting is now underway. Already more than 1 million people have voted in the Tar Heel state. And during his visit, Trump visited the hard-hit town of Swannanoa, but did not tour the area. He repeated previous false claims about FEMA's response, saying his administration would do better. The former president will hold a meeting with religious leaders there later tonight. Warmer temps sticking around. Let's check your first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex?
And it's warm out here in the patio as we speak right now. Temperatures still in the middle 70s, upper 70s in some parts of southern Wisconsin. As the sun sets here, you'd think at the end of October I'd have a jacket on. Not tonight. I could probably go for short sleeve shirt and shorts if that were allowed for TV apparel. The suit will do just fine for tonight. But yeah, 77 in the Wisconsin River Valley. 80 still hanging on to that temperature up towards Camp Douglas. 73 in Janesville and 72 in Monroe. Unprecedentedly warm temperatures across all of southern Wisconsin. Let's get a little bit closer here into Dane County. Still got 76 in Cross Plains. We got 76 in Stoughton. 74 to the west in Middleton. A wonderfully mild evening if you're enjoying the nice warm temperatures. This is where we've been the past 24 hours here in Madison. This time last night, 76 degrees. We dipped down only into the mid to upper 50s last night, and we reached a high temperature today right around 79, and that's what we were going for today with those temperatures approximately 20 plus degrees above normal. As we plan the rest of our evening tonight, I'm going to get my walk in after the 6 o'clock newscast here. Temperature still in the mid to upper 60s, so short sleeve shirt, maybe a light jacket at most across southern Wisconsin. You have to take the dog out later on tonight. I'll have to do that with Loki. Still in the mid 60s by the time we get into the late evening hours. Overnight lows tonight dipping down to approximately upper 40s to the lower 50s. I'm going for a low of 52 in Madison. Now, we also have to track some rain. Temperatures and rain are our main weather stories. A little rain on Tuesday. We'll show you who has the best chance of getting those showers and how much water could we get out of a better chance of rain come Thursday night. I'll let you know in a few minutes.
Alex, thank you. Continuing our 3 for the People coverage. This week, we're tackling where the candidates stand on crime, the state of criminal justice here in Wisconsin, and what it all means for your wallet this election season. In our first story, our Maddie Heimsch dives deeper into what we've heard about crime and a look at the local data.
Kamala Harris, this is not a person who's going to make our community safer. This is a person who's going to contribute to the violent crime epidemic we've seen.
And make no mistake, violent crime was up under Donald Trump.
UW Law School professors Cecilia Klingel and Adam Stevenson say political soundbites,
they leave a lot of questions unanswered.
What is tough on crime or hard on crime or soft or lenient on crime really is up to the eye of the beholder.
But we can use agency-reported data to dive into the facts.
If we zoom out to a bigger picture, what we know is that crime rates in the U.S., since we've been tracking them, peaked in the early 1990s and then fell pretty steadily until we hit the pandemic. And then we saw this uptick that again appears to be kind of leveling off.
Generally speaking, crime is going down, and that is the nationwide trend.
But what about local trends? This is a representation of all crime reported in Dane County over the past decade, according to the FBI's crime database. Criminal activity hit a peak around 2020, which again can be largely attributed to the pandemic. Since then, numbers have been steadily decreasing. And if you take a look at violent crimes in Dane County or violent crimes in Madison or all crime in Madison, you'll continue to see that same pattern. But still, 61% of registered voters say violent crime is a very important issue for them when they cast their ballot.
If you're living in a community that's seeing rising crime, though, that's probably not your local experience. And I think that's one of the reasons why people have such strong reactions, is that they're reacting to local stories or how these numbers seem to be affecting them.
So how much does who's in the Oval Office have to do with our safety?
It's very indirect. Federal law enforcement is fairly narrow, even though we hear a lot about it. There's little directly that the president can do.
On Tuesday, I speak with local advocates about gun violence and firearm rights. Hear what they have to say about the federal policies affecting the safety of our communities tomorrow on News 3 Now.
Maddie, thank you. And police in the village of DeForest are searching for a Madison man who they say shot another man Sunday night. That incident happened about 10 o'clock last night in the Madison campground on County Highway V. According to DeForest police, two men got into an argument before one of them pulled out a gun and shot the other several times. The suspect, 33-year-old Micah Riggins, left the area before police got there. The victim in the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Riggins is believed to still be in Dane County, and there are active warrants for his arrest. He's considered armed and dangerous. Riggins already has a warrant out for his arrest for running from police just last week. Anyone with knowledge of his whereabouts is urged to contact DeForest Police, the number there on your screen. Monona police are investigating a death after finding a car upside down in the Yahara River overnight. Officers and rescue workers were called to Pirate Island in Monona just after 1 this morning. It happened near the West Broadway Bridge. Crews were seen pulling the vehicle out of the water. They recovered one victim from the vehicle. Video evidence shows the vehicle traveling on West Broadway before leaving the road and going into the water. It appears no other vehicles or people were involved. Madison West High School hosted the first senatorial town hall in the Madison School District. West students wanted to hear from all the candidates running for Senate, including the two frontrunners, Tammy Baldwin and Eric Hovde, but only one showed up today. The Student Civics Club and administrators had been organizing this town hall for over a year. Both Senator Baldwin and Hovde agreed to talk at the town hall, but Hovde canceled on Friday. Senator Baldwin and independent Philip Anderson still attended. Both candidates were asked questions, about 10 of them, covering everything from immigration to gun safety to women's reproductive rights. West High School invited all the candidates from differing parties to give students a chance to learn more about policies that affect Americans.
We have contacted all 4 candidates for this. We gave them all an equal opportunity. It's unfortunate that some weren't able to come today. We hope to host all of the candidates before or even after the election. We really value everybody's perspective.
That's Clark Schrager. He is part of the Civics Club, one of the moderators. He says the door is open for Hovde to visit in the future for another town hall style meeting. News 3 Now has reached out to the Hovde campaign for a statement on why he didn't attend. We have yet to hear back, but we'll keep you updated on this story on our Friday Battleground Wisconsin segment. Calling all Badger fans, if you're looking to meet and learn more about your favorite UW athletes, then you want to head over to tonight's taping of the Wisconsin Huddle. Tonight, Badger star running back Tawee Walker joins the show to break down Wisconsin's big win against Northwestern Saturday and the massive homecoming game coming up against third-ranked Penn State. It all takes place over at Buck and Honey's in Sun Prairie tonight, 6:30. Best of all, admission is free. And still to come at 6, a big recall that could impact your breakfast. Plus, the Girl Scouts getting more expensive. And it's not just the cookies. How much membership fees will now cost you?
You're watching News 3 Now at 6. Brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
Every single day, we help families that have been tragically impacted in truck crashes. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. Truck crash? Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
We forge steel bars that hold up bridges, propel ships, and send rockets into space.
But for years, China's been lowballing their prices,
So it's been tough to compete.
We can't let China steal Wisconsin jobs, so I wrote a law to require American infrastructure projects use American iron and steel.
Tammy Baldwin got President Trump to sign her Made in America bill.
and then she got President Biden to make it permanent.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. I approve this message.
Tammy Baldwin has our back.
Under Kamala, there's been a big hike in Medicare premiums. Social Security benefits don't go far with Kamala's inflation slamming seniors. Now Kamala wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals. That will doom Medicare. President Trump will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. Trump lowered Medicare premiums, and he'll end the tax on Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
It seems like everyone in Washington is either too far left or too far right. I'm Rebecca Cook, and like most folks in Wisconsin, I'm somewhere in the middle. I'll stand up to Democrats to fight for a secure border and stop wasteful spending. I'll stand up to extremists like Derek Van Orden, who wants to ban all abortions with no exceptions. Like you, I'm fed up and ready for change. I approve this message because it's time that we sent one of us to Congress.
Sometimes the smallest cracks can cause the biggest chills. This fall, watch out for The Draft.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
The Girl Scouts are raising membership dues 160% over the next 2 years. The National Council voted to hike prices from $25 to $45 in 2026. In 2027, dues will increase again to $65 per scout. Membership dues are the organization's largest revenue source. In 2023, they generated $38 million from nearly 2 million members. The Girl Scouts are facing cash flow issues stemming from the pandemic, inflation, and changing consumer behaviors. Some frozen waffle products are being recalled because they could be contaminated with listeria. The recalled products were produced by Treehouse Foods, sold under various brand names across the U.S. and Canada. Routine testing at a manufacturing facility discovered the issue. According to the FDA, there are no confirmed reports of any illness linked to the products. You should throw out those recalled products or return them to the store for a credit. Well, check inside your fridge. Church Brothers Farms recalling nearly 1,300 cases of its green onions. Those may be contaminated with salmonella. Those infections can be deadly for children and the elderly. Symptoms include fever, nausea, abdominal pain. So far, there are no reports of illness related to these onions. Still ahead, registrations, changing the subject, are now open for those looking for a Thanksgiving meal this year, how you can sign up or help out. Plus, a new nationwide study on Alzheimer's disease looks into why some groups develop it more than others. Plus, we could see some rain later in the week. Alex with a complete forecast when we come back.
Sarah Kieski, she supports lifting revenue limits, allowing property tax rates to skyrocket unchecked. Kieski's backers want to ban natural gas to heat our homes, driving utility bills through the roof. That's Kieski's record, expensive and extreme.
Under Kamala, there's been a big hike in Medicare premiums. Social Security benefits don't go far with Kamala's inflation slamming seniors. Now Kamala wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals. That will doom Medicare. President Trump will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. Trump lowered Medicare premiums, and he'll end the tax on Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
When my husband got throat cancer, it wasn't just a health crisis. It was a financial one for my family. And that's something rural families know all too well. Joan Ballwig voted against expanding affordable health care for rural families and against bringing drug costs down. And that's one reason I decided to run against her. I'm Sarah Kieski, and I'm running for state senate. Because when someone you love needs medical care, the last thing you should have to worry about is how to pay for it.
Career politicians like Peter Barca will say anything to get elected. His latest negative ad against Brian Style, it's been called blatantly false. The truth, Style has always supported IVF. He co-sponsored a resolution supporting IVF. And Style backs legislation to help families afford IVF. Peter Barca can sling mud, but we deserve better than just another lying career politician.
I'm Brian Style, and I approve this message.
You have a clear choice in this election. Senator Baldwin is a 38-year career politician. I'm a businessman and job creator. She supports taxpayer benefits for illegal immigrants. I'll close the border. Tammy wants to put guys and girls sports in their bathrooms. I'll protect our daughters. Senator Baldwin abuses the political system. I'll fight the corruption. I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. I'd be honored to have your vote.
Sarah Kieski, she supports lifting revenue limits, allowing property tax rates to skyrocket unchecked. Kieski's backers want to ban natural gas to heat our homes, driving utility bills through the roof. That's Kieski's record, expensive and extreme.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
A groundbreaking national study into the causes of Alzheimer's and dementia has begun, led by researchers here at UW-Madison. What makes the study so unique? Armand Rahman found out. Armand?
Eric, according to the Alzheimer's Association, older Black Americans are twice as likely as older white Americans to develop Alzheimer's or another type of dementia. For the first time, this recent study is hoping to understand why. And a Black woman from here in Dane County is the first of 2,000 participants nationwide to kick off that search for an answer.
This study is definitely a trailblazer in the field of Alzheimer's disease research.
And the trailblazing has begun as Barbara Smith-Ballin of Dane County had her first brain scans in August. She'll get scans over the next 5 years to track the presence, absence, or change in molecules that are biomarkers called amyloid plaques.
We understand that amyloid plaques are one of the reasons why people end up developing Alzheimer's.
The study will involve participants across all 37 of the Alzheimer's disease research centers in the country. UW Professor of Medicine Ozioma Okonkwo says having Smith-Ballin be the first
is pretty much a watershed, you know.
The National Institute of Health is requiring that 25% of participants around the country should come from minoritized racial and ethnic groups, people with few years of schooling, and people living in poor or rural areas, because they are disproportionately affected by Alzheimer's and dementia, but carry less amyloid plaques.
It's one of those things that scientists are still trying to grapple with. Why do they have a greater burden of the symptoms of the disease, but not necessarily a greater burden of the disease entity in the brain itself?
While past research has merely stated this, Okonkwo is in charge of recruiting more Black and Latinx participants into the study, which he says is new.
It's one thing for researchers to talk the talk. It's something else to actually begin to walk it, that we actually mean what we say about doing more inclusive science, because inclusive science is actually good science.
Now, to get involved in the study here in Dane County, we'll have the email address to contact researchers with this story on channel3000.com.
Armand, thank you. Temperatures will cool off throughout the rest of the week. Alex now with a look at our complete forecast.
Eric, indeed, temperatures will cool off as we carry on through the rest of this week. Will even be more seasonable as early as Wednesday. But when I show you our 10-day forecast, I'm going to let you know that those temperatures are still going to be at or above normal for this time of year. Got some rain chances, too, that we're tracking as well. That's something new in the forecast as part of the 3 things you need to know with the best chance of rain likely going to be eyeing up Thursday night. Right now, those current conditions, we got 75 in Madison right now, 75 degrees again tonight. We'll go back one graphic here and see if we can plan the evening. That's okay. We'll track the temperatures. This evening, temperatures will fall down into the 60s. It's going to be very, very mild when you join Jacob at 10 o'clock at night. You probably could still have the windows open by that point. You'll want to shut them tonight, as temperatures eventually will bottom out into the upper 40s to the lower 50s across all of southern Wisconsin. We'll track the temperatures through the rest of the day together. We'll see the mercury rise up to near 70 degrees. That's still 10 degrees plus above normal across southern Wisconsin. and some water on the way as well. This looks like we're getting some weather model updates as we speak, with some showers, maybe a clap of thunder approaching southwestern Wisconsin, but it fizzles as it moves into dry air. Madison points south towards Monroe. Janesville, as we head towards 12 o'clock, maybe a shower or a sprinkle. By the time we get to 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, all that shower activity, the leftovers of it, is well off towards the east. Better chance of rain is going to be Thursday night. We could use those drops, all the drops that we can get, at 6 o'clock at night. So about this time Thursday night, we'll be eyeing up some showers, maybe a clap or two of thunder, and look how widespread things are as we go Thursday night into the early portion of Friday morning. Eventually that moves out of here by the time we get into Friday at 6 o'clock. And this amount of rain could be some of the most appreciable rain that we've seen since the middle of, well, end of September, September 21st, 22nd. Some parts of southern Wisconsin saw some showers and some thunderstorms and some severe weather, and really it's been dry for the better part of 2 months. Widespread half, maybe 3/4 of an inch, especially for Madison, and points off towards the east. So fingers crossed we'll keep this weather system in the cards as we move further out into the week, because again, we need the rain with severe drought conditions expanding across much of southern Wisconsin. Following this weather system, temperature Saturday and Sunday, this is about where we should be for this time of year. And it's going to feel probably a bit on the chilly side when you're used to temperatures in the 70s to near 80. And then all we're going to do is highs in the 50s by the upcoming weekend. You might need a light jacket, and it will be a time to acclimate to those temperatures. But not for very long, because by the time Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday roll around, a weather system moves into the Midwest, warming our temperatures up. Look at those overnight lows Tuesday night, near 60 degrees. Could be looking at some thunderstorms, too, with a cold front as that weather system moves through.
Alex, thank you. The Goodman Community Center starting up its annual Thanksgiving basket drive. This will be the 36th year the center has provided the fixings for families to make a full Thanksgiving meal at home. Once again, they're looking to distribute 4,000 baskets. Community members who would like to help out can make financial donations online at goodmancenter.org. Donate food at the center or host a drive. With more demand than ever, registration is expected to fill quickly.
Food is a basic human right, and people's holidays are their traditions, and so we want people to be able to have the dignity and honor to have those holidays in their home and cook whatever traditional meals it is for their family. So helping them get access to the food to do that is a pretty amazing thing.
Well, if you'd like to register for a basket, you can do so online at goodmancenter.org or by phone with the number right there on your screen. Registration is open to Dane County residents and will remain open until filled.
And still to come in sports, it was another weekend of winning around the state of Wisconsin when it comes to football. We talk about what's up next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
I'm working harder than ever just to pay the bills and provide for my family. But here's what Kamala Harris thought my money should go to instead. Job training for illegal immigrants even after they commit crimes in America. Hotel rooms for illegal immigrants while our vets sleep on the street. Sex changes for illegal immigrants out of my pocket. Seriously, have these people lost their mind? Kamala Harris can never, ever be our president.
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
When my husband got throat cancer, it wasn't just a health crisis. It was a financial one for my family. And that's something rural families know all too well. Joan Ballwig voted against expanding affordable health care for rural families and against bringing drug costs down. And that's one reason I decided to run against her. I'm Sarah Kieski, and I'm running for state senate. Because when someone you love needs medical care, the last thing you should have to worry about is how to pay for it.
Have you heard Eric Hovde?
I am totally opposed to abortion.
I am totally opposed to politicians telling women what we can do.
Extremists all over the country have passed abortion bans.
Criminal penalties for doctors. No exceptions for rape or incest.
Women are dying just trying to get health care.
There are even restrictions in Wisconsin. This has to stop.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
We are totally opposed to Eric Hovde.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Brian Stiles says he's proud of his extreme record. Extremists want to gut Social Security and Medicare, cut benefits for seniors, and raise the retirement age. Stiles proud to join them. And they push to ban abortion in Wisconsin, restrict birth control, and monitor pregnancies to prosecute women. Brian Stiles proud to be backed by them. Peter Barca is proud to put Wisconsin over party.
I'm Peter Barca, and I approve this message.
Under Kamala, there's been a big hike in Medicare premiums. Social Security benefits don't go far with Kamala's inflation slamming seniors. Now Kamala wants struggling seniors to pay more Social Security taxes, while she gives Medicare and Social Security to illegals. That will doom Medicare. President Trump will make sure no one cuts Medicare or Social Security. Trump lowered Medicare premiums, and he'll end the tax on Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
Wisconsin football has won 10 of their last 11 night games at Camp Randall dating back to 2016. That home field advantage, Barry Alvarez told Luke Fickell a couple of weeks ago, comes from success on the field. It's not just something that happens. And the Badgers, well, they've had some real success on the field in the last 3 weeks, winning 3 straight by a combined 101 points. That success is what makes this weekend's game against number 3 Penn State so big, but still, they've got to hold up their end of the bargain.
This is a big game because we've had an opportunity to make it a big game, and the way that our guys have played the last few weeks make it a bigger game. If we don't go out there and start fast and do the things we've done the last few weeks, then it doesn't become a home field advantage. So we got to pride ourselves in making it and creating it as well. Otherwise, you just assume that the students got to get there earlier, right? Hey, students got to get there. Like, well, you know, give us a reason to get there a hell of a lot earlier, and that's what we got to do.
In the midst of the Packers' 24-22 comeback win over the Texans, Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs came to somewhat of a crossroads. Well, kind of. You see, Josh Jacobs, he had a breakout game and caught his first ever receiving touchdown. But on that very same play, Jordan Love threw his 50th career passing touchdown. Josh Jacobs received the game ball, but immediately tried to give it to Jordan Love. So let's see if Matt LaFleur can sort all of it out.
He is a great leader, a great teammate, you know, just a great example for everybody. He's totally selfless in what he does. So he's been a great addition to our locker room. And but if I know Jordan, like I think I know Jordan, I'm pretty sure he's going to tell Josh to keep that ball.
And the Big Ten tabbed Carter Booth as their Defensive Player of the Week today. The 6'7" middle blocker averaged nearly 2 blocks per set this week, including a career night, collecting 12 kills against Michigan. It's the second time Booth has won the award.
Makes me feel old. I covered her dad when he played basketball at Penn State. Now the GM of the Nuggets. Final check of the forecast.
Yeah, really all in all in the 10-day, our temperatures really staying above normal. We have on and off rain chances. The best chance of rain this week is going to be Thursday night.
All right, Alex, thank you. Thanks for joining us, folks. Have a great evening. We'll be back here tonight for News 3 Now at 10.